Last time on Auto Reverse.
Auto reverse.
And welcome back. I didn't think we would do this again, but here we are. Auto Reverse is back. I'm DJ Ryan Fresh, your host for the program. In case you forgot, Auto Reverse is a show where we talk about hip-hop's most influential mixtapes. Although this time we're going to be straying a little left of center of hip-hop and talking about one of mainstream's most popular mixtape series, MTV's Party to Go. It's arguable that going from the late 80s into the 90s, MTV was a great equalizer for a lot of pop culture. People in Missoula aren't gonna have the same underground scene that, let's say, a city like Oakland would have. But for a little while, shows like Yo MTV Raps, Headbangers Ball, 120 Minutes helped level the playing field. A show that was on MTV during, as I recall, weekday afternoons was Club MTV, a precursor to the much more popular The Grind. Both of these shows were essentially 30 minutes of hot young people dancing in a wildly dressed stage and hosted by equally hot VJs, Downtown Julie Brown for Club MTV and Eric Nice for The Grind. MTV were putting their own spin on the Soul Train format, because fuck American Bandstand, and thus created a televised environment that teens and creepy 40-year-old men wanted to be a part of. Like Soul Train, MTV's iteration of dance programming was deeply anchored by music, so you had a nice mix of underground songs and mainstream club bangers. Yes, you'd get major label hitters like En Vogue or New Kids on the Block, but you'd also get newcomers like Sagat or Gillette. These shows also ushered in a larger movement to get house music into homes in flyover states and suburbia. MTV then teamed up with Tommy Boy and took it a step further. The MTV Party to Go compilations were a ready-made soundtrack to its televised counterpart and were part and parcel to a built-in marketing and merchandising structure. It was slick, it was commercial, and it was corporate. But the mainstream nature of the Party to Go tapes would do for mixtapes what Hammer and Vanilla Ice did for hip-hop. Get the format into every goddamn household. Widely available on cassettes and CDs, Tommy Boy released 15 volumes of the series from 1991 to 2001. Truthfully, I don't have as much to say about those latter era releases, chiefly because by that time I found DJ mixtapes on my own that reflected what I was listening to. But those first few Party to Go mixtapes seldom left my Walkman. And I found that mix shows weren't just regulated to daytime radio. Some of the remixes from the Party to Go series were culled from Ultimix, a record pool that specialized in mixable versions of songs that wouldn't be available anywhere else, unless you were recording radio mix shows. Ultimix is not unlike its like-minded ilk in Wicked Mix, Raw Beats, and Lethal Weapon. The Party to Go mixtapes have been gone for 2 decades, and yet people still have fond memories of them, particularly millennials. One of the mixes that I did earlier this year was inspired by the Party to Go series, which prompted the return of Auto Reverse. I think it's safe to say that in the ensuing years, stuff like Boiler Room or Twitch streams have helped replace Party to Go, Club MTV, and The Grind, mostly out of necessity. But there's always gonna be like this nice 10-year run where you could find these awesome little mixtapes in mainstream places like Sam Goody, Tower Records, and The Warehouse. And that's just something that you can't replicate in 2021. Anyway, that's all I have for today. I want to thank you for joining me on the return of Auto Reverse. I think this is something that I'm going to do from time to time, and it probably won't go back to being a regular series, but still, it was fun to dust off the format just a little bit. Anyway, you can find about my goings-on here at ryanfresh.com, and follow me on all the socials. Like this video, subscribe, leave a comment, let me know about which Party to Go song was your favorite, and I'd love to hear any suggestions in the comments about what other mixtapes I should cover in the future. Anyway, that's it for now. I'm Ryan Fresh, and yeah, thanks for tuning in. Peace.